Just preparing the live stream now. I'm about to push the button. And please do get your questions into the chat. We've got Nuno here tonight. We've got Steve from spartanfx.co.uk. Excellent. We're going out live on YouTube now. Yes, so please get your questions in for the Dream Team. This hour flies by between 9 and 10 on a Thursday evening here live from Portugal. So we have Nuno Mendes from Winsurance. We have Gilda, the Queen of Visas, of course, in from EI. Steve from SpartanFX, spartanfx.co.uk if you want to open your free currency trading account with them. And have a little bit of a roundup from their industries and then, check in with them personally, see how they're doing as well as it gets a bit more spring-like in the atmosphere here in Portugal. So questions, please, in the chat here on Zoom and over on YouTube. Let's start with the Queen of the Visas, Gilda, over at AE. What sort of day have you had, Gilda?
Well, it was a busy day, very busy day. Because I had to put all the work updated, because tomorrow is going to be a very special day at EI office.
Go on.
We are going to make a team building and we are flying to Amsterdam for the weekend.
Are you? How amazing. There you go. So, do you know, it's kind of good news and bad news because people are thinking, hold on a minute, they're having a team building day. That means they won't be able to process my visa. But very thoughtfully, Gilda is taking everybody away for the weekend. So she's making them work, really. I'm not going to say that too loud to the rest of the workforce, but they're working 7 days this week, including a team build in Amsterdam, which sounds like it will be a lot of fun, Gilda. What have you got planned, or can't you say? Would that give the game away?
No, everything had to be very planned in advance because we are 20 girls, so
watch out, Amsterdam.
Yeah, so it's going to be like a how do you say, a single ladies party. I don't know.
Wow, what, pretending to be a works training thing? Yeah, great.
No, okay. It's going to look like that because we are all ladies.
Yes, of course. Oh, like a hen weekend sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but everything had to be planned in advance because we are 20. So yes, we have everything scheduled and planned. We are going to have the Heineken experience, and then we are going to have a cruise on the channels.
Yes.
We are going to visit the Anne Frank Museum.
Wow.
And we are going to visit the Van Gogh Museum.
Amazing. Okay, well, the Heineken experience, it sounds like my kind of team building event. Good luck. Have a great weekend and some fruitful bonding over there in Amsterdam. That's wonderful. Back to the world of migration, Gilda. Can you give us an update? CEF, the consulate strikes we've been hearing about. Can we have a little bit of a roundup from the front line?
CEF, this week we started the week with news from the Portuguese-speaking countries that they start this new legalization process very fast for the Portuguese-speaking countries that you can do on the new platform. And we are already testing that, and it's working. Although it has some problems. I don't think it's going to be a solution for a long-term solution. It's a solution for now, for many processes that are on hold, and they want to clean up before the CEF turns into APMA.
Yeah.
Whenever that is going to happen. And it was a quite busy week because of that. And now we have the news that the consulates are going on strike. It doesn't surprise me a lot because they have been working. They don't have many people and they are working a lot, and they have more and more work and less human resources.
Okay, and these are the Portuguese staff of Portuguese consulates overseas, and they have some industrial action coming up.
Yes, and also they've been asking for better conditions and they want more people to work, but the conditions that they offer are not very appealing. So there aren't people applying for the vacancies that are open.
Okay. So there's potential possible setbacks there and time delays because of the industrial action at some consulates around the world. Allow time for that, folks. And I noticed you saying when CEF turns to APMA, whenever that will be, we know it's going to be the 1st of April, don't we? That's the official date, Gilda.
Yes, that's the official date.
Right. Okay. But you're adding in a little bit of a gray area for them to work in there by the sound of it.
Yes, because it's already the 16th and we still don't have anything.
Okay. Well, let's see. They might have a nice surprise for us on the 1st of April.
Yeah.
Thank you so far. We already have a question for you and we'll come back to that. But let's hear from Nuno Mendes from Winsurance. How are you, Nuno? Are you enjoying your evening? Looks like it.
Hello, good evening. Yes, it's already or yet evening here.
So very nice to see you. Thank you for being here on your in your evening out, joining us briefly. Any news from the world of insurance? Anything you want to share with our audience this evening?
Yes, we've been working on two solutions. One is a result of a conversation that I had with Gilda to facilitate the renting houses in Portugal. Okay, due to the because people don't have an historic in banks, so could be a problem for the landlord to rent the houses. So we have been working on a solution, an insurance solution to that, and also to cover a lack of the health insurance, which is the nursing at home. But we start with only these, and the solution is becoming better and better.
Oh, great.
So we are working on this hardly during the last 3 weeks till now. So shortly we'll have this settled.
So these are two new products, insurance services. One is to deal with the guarantor situation. And we spoke briefly about this in the webinar earlier on this evening, that some people looking for property and wanting their lease for the D7 are doing this remotely. And some, what you could say, unscrupulous landlords are saying, well, there's no guarantor. You haven't got a history here in Portugal, so we want at least 6 months or even a year up front. You're proposing, or you will be able to offer an insurance product that will keep those landlords happy.
We hope so, because the Portuguese insurance market for that is very, very short. We had basically a solution which is from Tranquilidad, and it was built upon the salaries of the tenants, which is not applicable to the expat community. So
of course,
we work on this, and now I believe that we have something really useful.
Great. Okay, that's great. And in a different part, once people have got here and they're looking at the practicalities, and it's a somewhat awkward conversation, but towards the end of life, nursing care and cover, that's another product that you'll be able to talk to us about in the coming weeks.
Yes. But it's much more rather than nursing at home, much more.
Okay. All right, excellent. So looking forward to that. Thank you for being here tonight. If you've got any questions about insurance or visas, of course, ask them in the chat and we'll get them to Gilda and Nuno respectively. And Steve Flack joining us from the UK probably, and coming from the world of finance, which is quite exciting at the moment, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, we've had lots going on this week with regards to the banks, couple of banks in America in a bit of trouble, having to be bailed out. Then exactly the same again with Credit Suisse this week as well. They're having to get large loans from their central banks to keep them going. We also had ECB rate decision this week. So we've seen a lot of volatility. it's been an interesting week to say the least, in regards to where where the markets are at the moment. So it's it makes life a bit more exciting for us, because people are more looking into what we do. We're here to try and take the information that we get and move it on to our clients. So.
Right. So there's two sides to that. One bit I want to ask you, which is, are these bailouts causing people to move and exchange money, and also the impact on the rates as a result of these massive bailouts that are going on? So could you address those two things for us?
Yes, I mean we've had clients this week. It's because it's obviously it's quite unsettling to see banks of that sort of size, well, especially Credit Suisse of that sort of size, in bits of trouble. It makes people think, right, okay, look, I want to get my money over, and done. We did see actually, we've got lots of guys in the US. We saw it move probably 1.5% in their favour this week. So we saw lots of clients look to try and take advantage of that as well, because it does affect everything with exchange rates. So some clients were still a little bit, a bit edgy with it, but then there were others that were thinking, look, no, I want to get this done, get this out of the way, take advantage of, the market movement, just take advantage of where we are.
So it has been favourable for dollar holders who want to change to euros.
Yeah, exactly. So we saw, like I said, it's probably at one point, it was, I reckon, at least it was about at least 1.5% in their favour, from where it had been. We at one point it was pushing up towards 110s and things like that, and it's now pushed back down to the 105s. So it was some big swings, not quite that amount in this week, but it has started to gradually move back down again. So we've got clients that are looking to try and take advantage of that, and they're holding their euros with us as well, if they're not ready to quite get them to Portugal. And we've got lots of clients that are just that have held steady, hoping. You've got some clients are a bit more gamblers, and they're hoping for a bit more. So at the end of the day, it's a personal decision whether you'd like to exchange at any point. And we obviously give our input, and then ultimately, if the client wants to, then they go for it.
But the bailouts, as it turns out, as we're finding out from you behind the scenes here in the world of finance, is causing some people to say, that's it, I want to get things done and dusted, and or take safer positions. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I've actually had a client who's actually in Switzerland with their money in Credit Suisse, and they, I had some money come to me directly this morning. She was like, look, I wanted to get some money out directly. It scared her. She was like, I'm going to take advantage of this, take my money out of there and get it exchanged, and she's put it straight into Portugal already.
Well, there you go. Portugal's gain, and
exactly
is lost there.
Exactly.
That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Thank you, Steve, so much. Laurie says, Steve's my guy at Spartan FX. He's been great. And that's the wonderful thing here. When people from Spartan turn up to be on the panel, you get to see and talk to the people who you could be dealing with when it comes to currency exchange. And you can't say that about all banks and currency exchanges, can you?
Exactly. No, it is nice when you get little messages like that. Especially, I'm glad you said a nice thing. Anyway, it could have been a lot worse that, but it is nice. We do speak to clients on WhatsApp and stuff like that, and video calls whenever they need to. But obviously, most of the time, it's just done over the phone. You don't really get to see what people look like, and to actually see them in the flesh. It just settles the nerves, I think, a lot with a lot of people, because some people are, it's nerve wracking. You're sending a lot of money. Some people's life savings, and it's to be able to see things like this does put their mind at rest, and and things like that. So it's nice to hear that I've helped you, Laurie.
Great, thank you for the time being, Steve. We've got Darren, Suze, Sammy, Salah, and Gary over on YouTube, as well as Jim and Tom. We'll get back to all your questions over there. Let's start off here and come back to Gilda and ask this first question here in the chat here over for the premium members on Zoom. Can Gilda please, I'm not sure if this was the first one, I think one went missing there, but that's because Gilda is very busy answering questions already in the chat. Gilda, multitasking and getting on with the job behind the scenes here. I think the first one was from Alison and Michael. So with the agency changes from CEF to APMA it will be, Alison and Michael, in your best assessment, do you think it will delay the visa approval wait times for newly applying people, or go smoother and maybe quicker? We hope to be applying in April. We are concerned, understandably so. What do you think, Gilda?
As I wrote, I think that the changes, I hope that the changes will be for the better. Therefore, I think it's going to be faster. The process are going to start. I will start it to going to be faster.
That's the promise, isn't it? And that's the whole point of this
Yes.
exercise, isn't it? So let's hope that is true. Perhaps you should be taking them with you to Amsterdam for a great big team building exercise, and get to know your new colleagues at APMA. I think a few of us will put a few coppers in the hat and have a whip round to make that all go smoother. Okay. Fair enough. You don't have to answer that. Okay. So thank you very much. Good to see Derek here, saying hi to you as well, Gilda. Hi to all from a wet Glasgow. Enjoy the weekend with love, I think, there from Derek and Linda in wet Glasgow there. From Square Eyes, can Gilda please explain the terms requirements of the CPLP? This is, if you could explain what that is in the first place, because Square Eyes wants to know, because it might be the last chance for my old mum, says Square Eyes. So what is the CPLP and how do people come to Portugal on that basis?
It's the CPLP, it's the countries that speak the Portuguese language.
Yeah. And
now there are new rules for these countries to apply for visas and resident permits that are easier than for other countries.
Okay. And when you say new, how new is that? Are we talking about in the very recent history?
Yes, since Monday.
Oh, wow. Very, very recent. Oh, please, can you tell us more?
It's very complicated.
Okay, so what Square Eyes needs to put a call in, but
it's really, really complicated. And I had like all morning how do you call teaching from the government.
Oh, wow.
About this, and they are really uncertain about so many things that they are going to do it like in different steps to see how it's going to work. So the first step, it's going to be for the Portuguese, for the Portuguese speaking citizens that are already in Portugal, but are not with the resident permit yet.
Okay, yeah.
And then it's going to be for those to apply the visa. But the aim of it is that it's going to be a very simple process, that it doesn't need to be analyzed by CEF. And the visa is supposed to be issued in 72 hours.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
That was, so you went along to an awareness and training session about this. That's for Portuguese speakers who are already here. And I suppose that's just to dot the I's and cross the T's and just to get everybody legal in the country who wants to be here, presumably.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But there is one problem, is that they did this law, but we are talking about many countries. We are talking about Brazil, that is huge. We are talking about Angola. We are talking about Mozambique, and other countries, but these are the biggest countries. And if they all want to apply for this visa and they make it so easier, like Portugal is a small country, it's going to collapse. So I don't know what they had in mind when they did this law. So they now are going to try phase 1. That makes sense because people are already here. But for phase 2, they don't have a date yet. Okay. So let's see when and if it's going to happen, because if it's going to happen, I think that they are going to suffer a lot of pressure from the European Union.
Okay. Yes. Okay. That's very interesting. So your guess is that they will see how phase 1 works for people who are already here, and then roll out phase 2. depending on the success of phase one, which I don't think sounds especially useful to Square Eyes. As I understand it, the last chance for Portuguese speaking mother is not inside the country, so she would be part of phase two.
Yes, but however, I can analyze the situation because, as I always say, there is always a way.
Well said, Gilda, and that's why she's here. That's why it's good to get in touch with her and the team, who will be, I think, will be in a fine mood Monday morning after coming back from Amsterdam after their team building efforts. So thank you very much, Gilda, for answering that first question tonight. We're also, I feel really bad because Denise is saying to Nuno, glad to see you're feeling much better and we can hear you. I didn't even mention it. Sorry, Nuno. Yes, you could barely speak last week, and clearly it's great to see that you're feeling better this week. Thank you, Denise, for that prompt there. Are we going to see Gilda's puppy? We will have a Mandela moment. Whether we see him in the flesh or not, I do not know. Let's go to Ray and Vera's question. Is it possible for you to give the specifics of how the sponsorship process works? What exactly would the homeowner be responsible for? Does the homeowner even need to be in Portugal, or can it be perhaps a family member living outside of Portugal but owning a property there? Sponsorship, this is an alternative, I guess, Gilda, to having the lease agreement of the part of the D7 process.
Okay, so the sponsorship letter, it says that the person is responsible for your staying in Portugal, while in between the periods while you have the visa and your resident permit. This person needs to be responsible, and it is in the term of responsibility, is responsible for the housing and for the expenses. That's why many people don't feel comfortable signing it.
Yes, I can understand why. Okay, so it's quite a big responsibility for the sponsor to be taking on.
Yeah, but of course, if it's someone that you feel comfortable and has confidence on you, it's fine.
Right.
And then it needs to have a signature, and the signature needs to be recognized by a solicitor or a lawyer or a notary. Okay. If the person owns the house, you must put the documents that prove that the person owns the house.
Yes.
If the house is rented, you need to provide the rental agreement, and the rental agreement must not have a clause that say that it can't be subrented.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
So it's quite complex. It's not.
Yes.
It's been tightened up by the sound of it over the last few years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, if the person is not in Portugal, the person needs to either be Portuguese, be holder of a Portuguese identity card, or have a Portuguese resident permit.
Okay, and that's to stop people who just have a holiday home here saying,
Yes.
fine, that person
Yes.
lives with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's quite complex.
Because if the person has a holiday home here, and they don't want to rent, there is another way, which is called a contrato de comodato, saying that I'm going, we are friends, and then we prove that the house is mine. You prove you own the house, and I'm going to borrow the house for this period. That is possible also.
Oh, let me just get something straight then. I may have confused. So is sponsorship taking care of the person's income requirements as well, or is it only to do with the accommodation?
No, it has to say that it's responsible for the expenses also. As
in, where people would normally show that they've got a certain amount of savings, and
no, it's
not that part.
They will they will require everything, the savings and all the income. It's going
in their
to be
own right.
required,
It's only to do with the the lease of the accommodation and the expenses to do with the lease. Okay, good clarification. That just suddenly occurred to me. So there you go. It's no small undertaking to take the sponsorship route, which sounds like it's tightened up quite a bit over the last few years, as you might imagine. Hope that helps. Ray and Vera, let us know if you need further clarification on that. Issa is here. Hey, I finally had my D7 stage 2. Excellent. And that was in Qashqai, the CEF appointment. I have a question. I had to provide a local number while filling the application at CEF. If my number changes, as I think this is a local telephone number, if my number changes after I receive the residency card in the coming weeks, should I inform CEF and update them with my new mobile number? And if so, how can I do so? Can it be done online by email, or should I take an appointment and go personally to CEF to update the mobile number?
You can send an email, but I don't think that they will ever do anything with that email.
They won't update the... So for the sake of ease and convenience and further disappointment, get a mobile number in Portugal and try and keep it.
Yes, or just for your conscience, send an email to them so that...
Oh, at least you've tried. At least you've tried. Yeah, okay. Going back to the accommodation then, thank you, Dan. Good to see you earlier and great to see you here again asking this question that we wanted clarification on from the authority, who is Gilda, of course. My aunt owns a house in Portugal, which she rents out. When the current tenant's contract comes to an end, could I move into the property and have access to a D7 visa? Would I have to rent the property from her with a lease agreement? Now, that could be the contrato do comodato, couldn't it?
Yes, it can.
Okay, so there you go. I hope that's clear, Dan, and you picked that up from the last question there. Laurie is drinking a peach margarita. That's valuable information tonight.
I asked.
Okay, and another testimonial for Steve. Wonderful, most helpful, brilliant. Oh, and another one, Steve. I think you could go in on it tomorrow, I think, and say definitely employer for life, Steve. Very helpful.
It's me writing these, really.
Is it? Okay, so you're Stephanie as well tonight. Brilliant.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and you thanks, Steve. Yes, take it. Enjoy those compliments tonight.
Yes, you are the king tonight.
Daniel's absence, absolutely. So Dan, thanking you there. Let's go over to the YouTube now, where Darren, Suze and others are. Let's ask their questions. Sue says, hi Gilda, I have a possible job in Portugal and I'd like to know if as a senior my age would be a consideration for the job seeker visa, and would a letter of reference from a Portuguese citizen help? So are there any upper age limits if you're seeking a job in and going the job seeker visa route?
No, there aren't any, but if you have a proposal, a real one, I would advise you to come with a job visa, a working visa. Sorry. Okay,
so there you go, Suze. So the letter from a resident or a letter of residence from a Portuguese citizen, not necessarily very helpful.
You can put it in the process. But it's not an essential document.
Okay, Darren's here as well. Thank you, and good evening to you, Suze. Thank you for that question.
However, if she's applying for a work visa, she will need the letter from the employment.
Okay.
The employer.
All right, Suze, that's your question dealt with there. Come back if you want further clarification. Darren's here. I have a 120 visa, but my CEF appointment has been set after 30 days. I was promised a job, but they've changed their mind. Will CEF be okay with me at the appointment to continue for 120 days?
What type of visa are we talking about?
I think, again, we're looking at job seeker, but I want your own clarification, Darren, who I think also saw some appointments come up for one of the British VFSs. Can you confirm or deny that? Have VFS appointments opened up for the UK?
Are what, sorry?
The VFS appointments. It was very difficult to get an appointment, wasn't it, in the UK? Has there been any movement there that you're aware of?
No, I think it's still like 2 months waiting.
Oh, okay. All right. Darren, come back to us on that. Sammy, hey guys, thanks a lot for your live sessions. It has been very informative. Thank you for that nice feedback. A very tricky situation here, you continue. I've overstayed a 90 days visa due to urgent family reasons, currently in France, and now very keen to apply for the digital nomad visa to relocate to Portugal. But since I have to apply for it from back home, I'm just worried about my chances for it. Any clarity about it, about if my overstayed visa decreases my chances for the digital visa would be very helpful. How can that be approached, given that it is urgent family reasons, Gilda?
Well, if he or she, I'm sorry, I didn't get it.
I'm not sure. Sammy. Yeah, Sammy we're talking to here.
If he wants to apply for a digital nomad visa, which is a residency visa, if everything is complies with the law, the visa is going to be granted despite the overstaying, because he overstayed with the tourist visa. Okay. But once he applies for a residency visa and it's granted, there will be no problem. At least from my experience, there was never a problem with that.
Okay, thank you, Julia. I'm sure that's a great relief for Sammy. And over here on Zoom with the premium members, Square Eyes, how do you get a Portuguese mobile number if you don't live there yet? I managed it, but gosh, it was not easy at all. Well, don't just say that, Square Eyes. Let us know how you did it so others can benefit from your hard work and intelligence there. And also adding that the VFS UK door is virtually closed for some time now. Let's go back to YouTube and Saleh. Who asks us, hi, hope you're all doing well. My son is Portuguese citizen. We left Portugal.
Wait a minute, sorry. Square Eyes was the person asking for the visa for the mom, right?
Yes.
So if he is going to get the visa, he can make the family reunion for the mom.
Yes. Okay. How do you mean? So, but Square Eyes and mum are in the UK.
But he says that he's going to get, he had the visa. That's why he had this problem with the telephone.
I'm not sure. Clarify if you care to, Square Eyes. But thank you for that, Gilda, that intervention there. Yes, that was a real eureka moment. If we've got our facts right with Square Eyes, I think. So let's find out if we have there from our understanding of you. Saleh, with the Portuguese son, who is a Portuguese citizen, we have left Portugal due to CEF delays processing of the receiving of temporary residency cards. My question is, can we get any fast track route for getting residency? There have been little, I don't know, what are they, puffs of information or suggestions that there might be fast tracks, but that's generally speaking not been a great idea, is it? Not very well received. It's all the same for everybody, really, isn't it? There aren't any premiums you can pay to get any fast track treatment, are there, Gilda?
No.
However, you can pay professionals to do the job well for you. That's the way to fast track it.
But we cannot make any magic with CEF.
Okay, I should clarify that, shouldn't I? Fast track in the sense that it is in professional hands and being dealt with promptly and efficiently, notwithstanding the delays that you'll experience with the government itself. Is that a good enough clarification?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Right. I'm glad you pointed that out, actually. Very good. And after this halfway point in the Dream Team session, how is that little rascal Mandela?
Oh, he's downstairs. I think that he's resting right now.
He's resting. He's like a rock star. He's just resting at the moment, so he's not available for his audience, no. I'm afraid. Okay, no. Will we get to see him on the screen one time?
Yes.
Okay, right. We'll see. He's so naughty. That's the problem. If you have him in the studio with you, he's likely to cause trouble, isn't he?
No, sometimes he's here.
Okay, all right, excellent. Yeah. So he's well, everybody, so that you can rest now. All right, Laurie, he's okay. He's just resting. Oh, he's probably having one of those little dreams and his little paws are flapping away, lying on his sausage dog side like he is. Oh, hello, Laurie's dog as well. Thank you.
That is a well-behaved dog.
Yes, indeed. That's not like Mandela, but from what you're saying. Okay, back to the consulate strike. Do you know when it begins, Gilda? Is it? I thought it was next week, is what I heard. Is that right?
No, it's in April.
Oh, it's the first. Oh, so it synchronizes with the arrival of APMA. That's convenient. Okay, so 1st of April there. Okay, let's move on to other questions that are coming through here. Thank you for your answer, Gilda from Isa. Just to clarify that I got it right. So the official legal procedure is to update the mobile number only by sending an email, or certainly not necessarily only, but that was your suggestion, just to make sure that had been registered, right, Gilda?
Yes.
Okay, and it was a Vodafone prepaid number. Then I got a postpaid contract, and so the sales agent messed it up, and you weren't able to keep the first number. Understand the problem. I think the first suggestion is the one we're going with there, Isa. Send the email to show that you have at least tried. Okay, we're hard at work to find a rental lease, say Alison and Michael. But if we won't be able to then get a VFS appointment due to the strike, we will be paying rent for much longer on a place that we can't live in. Any indication of when and how long the VFS consulates will close, we need to go to DC. Are these American consulates we're talking about that are going on strike, Gilda, for starters?
They don't mention which.
Oh, okay.
I just read the news again.
Yeah.
They don't mention which.
Okay. All right.
They just say it will start in April.
Yeah.
And they have the intention of having 13 days of strike in April.
Okay. And who knows?
We don't know which consulates are going to.
Yeah, and at the moment it is a threat of strike action, so it might not happen.
Yeah.
Michael. But as for the part of in any of these processes for anyone where you take a lease and you can't for some reason move into it, that is just one of the pitfalls, isn't it, Gilda? Not much can be done about that. It is a question of timing, isn't it? So sometimes people are paying for an empty place.
Yes.
And one that they can't be in yet. So yeah,
many times.
Okay, so it's a bit of a sorry situation and perhaps has to be costed in as a possibility in your contingency there. I think we've got some further information from Square Eyes. D7 approach. I'm in UK and I think along with Mum, can't get her to a VFS London appointment. No appointments anyway, plus travel issues. She's infirm if an appointment did arise. CPLP could be easier logistically. We'd be fully insured, etc. Just need to get her settled in Portugal so I can run around on her behalf. So a bit of a complex situation there. So I don't think reunification.
Reunification is perfect.
Oh, okay.
You have a D7 if you want. You come with your mother to Portugal.
Yeah.
And because you said that I don't know how old is she, but if she has health issues. She's able to make the family reunification with you. Okay,
I imagine Square Eyes has considered that. Does that give you any more confidence, Gilda's certainty on that? She is the expert, Square Eyes. Great show, says Gary Ogles. I'm not sure if he's referring to the earlier one or this one. We'll take it as both, okay? This is a bit random, Darren. What's the best interest rate I can get for instant access savings? That's outside of UK, so I don't think Steve will be able to answer that. And didn't we answer this before, possibly with Daniel last week? Gilda, what did he say about the best interest rate? Was it Caixa Geral that had the
yes, Caixa Geral
that had the huge interest rate of 2%, I think. So it's not Credit Suisse at the moment. That's not a professional opinion. That's just what I'm hearing on the grapevine. And Caixa Geral for a whopping 2% there. Laurie, let's bring your question in.
Yeah,
is it about Mandela?
Well, it's for Mandela's mom. No, in an earlier session, Gilda, you had mentioned that if you sent a package via mail, chances were it was going to be held for ransom by customs. At the time I was talking about more a few pieces of art I had, that sort of thing. Is there any difference if it's just like clothes? Because I'm thinking of taking my art on the plane and mailing my clothes.
No, I think clothes will be fine.
Yes, and we do have clothes here as well. You can buy some. You can get kitted out at a Chinese shop, Laurie.
Oh, okay. Well, one thing I'm looking forward to is that I'm only 5 feet tall, and I understand tall people complain about the clothes in Portugal.
I think you're going to be fine. A lot of fancy dress as well at a Chinese shop. So
what do you mean about people complaining Portuguese clothes?
Taller people.
Tall
I have
people, tall people.
about getting clothes that fit them. Not an issue for me.
I think you're going to be fine at 5 foot. And yeah, that sounds like, you'll have all your artworks, but not many clothes. That is such a bohemian lifestyle, Laurie. Fantastic.
No,
Good luck.
I'm flexible. I'm drinking peach margarita. What the hell?
That's such a great vision. Your new life in Portugal, loads of great artworks, barely any clothes, sipping on a margarita. Yay! Living the dream with the dream team here tonight. Thanks for that, Laurie. Superb. Jim Jones, look at this great news from Jim. My visa was approved on Friday. Shout out to Anna and Christina at EI. Could you pass that on? Excellent news. Thank you, Jim, for that. Tom, I think I found another city to check out. What do you think about Colares? We might bring Nuno in for that, but what do you think about Colares, Gilda?
I think it's beautiful, but it is a little bit chilly in the night.
Okay, to my shame, I was hoping you'd say where that is. I don't know. I don't know where Colares is. Where is
it's
that?
in Sintra.
Oh, okay. But cold at night because of what, the coastal
It's
effect?
humidity.
A humidity effect of its topology and its geography. Okay, fair enough. There you go. I don't know if that's put you off or not, Tom. Depends how much humidity you can handle, I guess. Did you have a view on that, Nuno, of Colares?
Yes, I've been there, and I agree with Gilda. It's chilly, it's cold,
Okay.
humidity. So it's between it stays between Sintra and Praia das Maçãs.
Yeah.
It's also a very well-known place nearby Sintra, but to live there, and also with the problem of the kind of the construction of the houses that we have that are not very well isolated.
Yeah.
I love the place is beautiful, but I don't know.
Sorry, Tom. It sounds like a better place to visit than to live in. And where else are you going to get this sort of knowledge shared with you? You only have to ask a question like that and you get expert knowledge from Portuguese people, as well as all the other information they bring you. Fantastic. Suze says, the 72-hour visa, it's not for you as it turns out, Suze. How is it that CEF won't be involved? Will it be somebody like the IRN that will process that very quick PCLP 72-hour visa then, Gilda?
No, it's going to be the consulate.
Oh, who might be on strike. Okay, fair enough. Yolanda, hi to all from Phoenix, Arizona, from Yolanda this evening. And every time, says Suze, I settle on the type of visa to apply for, a newer, easier one shows up. I want to be there. So job seekers it is, I think. Should she wait for an even easier visa next week? That's unlikely.
That one was funny. I don't think so. I think they are going to stop here.
Okay, so Darren is on the job seekers visa. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Getting a rental property, he continues, was my most stressful part. It is for so many people. The market in Porto is very competitive, means landlords take a long time to decide. Thank you for that input, Darren. Sure, Suze, it was pretty much the same docs as the other requirements. Email the local embassy. I was constantly emailing Manchester and they replied regularly. Great. Okay. Suze will be in the Minya. That's a nice place to live. A little bit chilly again, though, and support system up that way to find a house to rent. Fantastic. Mobiles, Darren recommends picking up. I thought I read this as Lycra at first, but it's Lyca, isn't it? Lyca, mobile SIM card for free in some news agents. And Patrick also enjoying the shows this evening. Over to Ursula in the premium member chat here on Zoom. Is there a good relocation company who can move our stuff from Chicago to Lisbon when we move in September? We're debating if to sell everything or take it with lots of books and artwork, which I hate to part with. It's a tricky one. And when it comes to shipping things, it probably is best to only bring the things you're sentimentally attached to, because we've got everything else here, haven't we, Gilda?
Yes.
And what do you, as a percentage of your clients, if you can give us a rough idea, how many do ship a lot of stuff and how many come kind of footloose and fancy free with as little as possible?
I would say that only 10% ship their things.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, 10%, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who do that. And for those who want to,
And the others bring lots of bags,
That's the current way of doing it, isn't it? Is to bring a lot of bags to the airport.
Yes.
And as a client of Casa Portuguesa, which we should mention as well, given the stress that Darren was talking about finding a place, if you're a Casa Portuguesa client, you can be picked up by the minibus and have all those bags delivered with you to your new residence that Casa Portuguesa are finding for you. How's it going at the moment? Because it's true what Darren says, right, Gilda? It's getting more and more difficult.
Yes, it is, but it's going well. Actually, it is one service that it has lots of people looking for it. Even for people that speak Portuguese, like the Brazilians, and it could be easier for them. But they are asking a lot for this service.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Casa Portuguesa. I think I'm missing, because everyone's being so efficient in the chat here, I'm actually missing some of the questions. So if I am, don't be afraid to prompt me again over here in Zoom, everybody, and forgive me if I did miss you. Okay, do that. So yeah, give me a prompt, ask me again. Going back to YouTube now. I got my D7 today. CEF appointment in July. Accommodation will expire 1 month later. Can I pick up the residency card at the Loja Cidadão? Thank you. That's a good question from Mr. S.
Yes, you can, but when you go to CEF, they will see if they will see that your rental agreement is going to end, you need to show another one.
Yeah.
Or the same with a letter or an addendum saying that it's going to renew.
Okay, there you go, Mr. S. Portia, I've been admitted to a university in Lisbon for a master's. Congratulations, Portia. Want to relocate with my family to do that. How much is required in my account? Any advice on affordable accommodation? So 2 parts to that. Coming for a master's, how much money will be required in the account? That's probably D7, isn't it, Gilda?
No, if she's in a university, she's going to have a student visa.
Oh, okay. How much is required in the account for that?
They don't ask for much money.
Okay, so does that mean some people will be thinking of doing degrees in Portugal then?
Yes.
Oh,
many Brazilians and many people from Asian countries do that.
Might be a reason for a boom in private universities as well. My goodness, it's incredible how this
it is a business.
It is a business. There you go. So Portia, you might want to get in touch directly with Gilles, and you can see the details for doing that.
But for the family reunion, you have to see it will be only for spouse and kids and minor kids.
Okay, there you go. S-Can over there on YouTube as well. I have a temporary residence card permit for Portugal. Can I apply for my parents from a non-EU country? So they are a temporary residence card holder for Portugal. Can they now apply for their parents from a non-EU country?
Yes, they can if they are above 65 years old, or if they show that they are
or
dependent,
yep.
Financial dependent, or they have any kind of illness or any other kind of dependence.
Okay, thank you very much, Gilda. Back to Zoom here is from Gail. Thank you, Gail. Is a CPCV agreement sufficient for D7 application and tenancy agreement for a partner at same address, or do we have to wait until we have signed the deed? Good question.
Well, most of the consulates accept the CPCV.
Okay, there you go. Nicely dealt with there, Gilda. For Gail, Kitten Hotel, what a lovely name. VFS, that must be a YouTube channel, probably about kittens in hotels. VFS in San Francisco requires a certified copy of my passport, but that isn't allowed by California law. No notarized certificate on government issued ID. Got it apostilled in another state. Is this okay?
It is, but I don't know what's wrong with these people, and that I don't know. I don't
Are they
know.
going against the law in that VFS?
I don't know. No, it's not the VFS. It's like in each state they make a different rule, and in all the world, a certified copy is a certified copy. It's like you take a copy and you say the copy is equal to the original, and then you put a stamp on it and you put the apostille. So no big deal. And now I find people saying that it's forbidden in this state and on the other state to take copies. I don't understand.
Well, Gail is very happy with your answer, and we can hear your frustration there, Gilda.
So go to another state. I don't know. But if I was in that state, I wouldn't accept it.
Okay, great to hear, Gilda. As then we can get Daniel Reyes to prepare my tenancy agreement to connect with same address, and then hire EI to proceed on our D7 process. Sounds like a plan, Gail. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Vision, Portugal, dream. Always love to see that and see you here. Hi, we have asked a similar question before. It's not a problem because different people turn up, and often these questions are of a universal benefit. So no problem there, Vision, Portugal, dream. Is it best to apply for a family of 3 for the D7, 1 on all separate applications, 3 appointments, or 1 application and 1 main applicant only for Vision, Portugal, dream there, following up with a family reunification in Portugal for the latter scenario?
Three appointments and but 1 application altogether.
Okay, so do join
because only because I'm afraid if they don't have 3 appointments, they won't accept the 3 applications in one.
Okay, so there you go, Vision, Portugal, dream. Do we travel to Portugal once the main applicant has a D7, please, and then request family reunification in Portugal? Many thanks. As a follow-up, sorry, I missed that first of all.
I would rather say that now with the changes with the law, it's best to do everything together.
Okay.
With the consulate.
There you go, Vision, Portugal, dream. If you want I can't even say further clarification to seek your further clarification here. But if you do want some further details, I'll say that. Do pop your questions in the chat, please. Fantastic, in capital letters from Gail. Very pleased to hear that news from you. And sounds like they're going to proceed with you and Daniel Reyes of Reyes and Pelicano, also in Expats Portugal's business directory. Laurie's saying, yeah, regarding your frustration, Gilda, why do you think we want to move to Portugal? Yeah, everything's so much easier when it comes to bureaucracy in Portugal. Well done, Laurie. Oregon QPR, have a pension that starts in 4 years, but have enough savings to cover 10 years worth of the annual requirement for the D7. Can I apply using those savings, or do I have to wait for the pension?
You cannot apply using only savings.
Okay.
You need to show that you have any steady
passive income. Yep. So there you go, Oregon QPR. Sue's coming back on the job seeker visa. Once the job seeker visa is approved, is there a time limit to get there?
No, but I would say as soon as possible, because you have a deadline to find a job. Otherwise, you will lose if you don't find a job in that deadline. I believe it's 4 months. I don't know if it's 3 or 4 months. You are going to lose the right of the resident permit.
Okay.
You can still renew it. Go to the appointment and say, I didn't find a job, and renew the visa for another 3 months. But if I were you, once the visa is issued, I would come. So you wouldn't lose any time and start looking for a job.
There you go, Suze. The answer from Gilda, the authority on these matters, the queen of the visas, here on the Dream Team session every Thursday night at 9 o'clock until 10. A couple of quickies then, because we're going to round up and get final comments from you, Gilda.
I have something important to say.
Sure.
because it's the 16th of March. And I need to say that if there is anyone here watching us that became Portuguese residents until the 31st of December 2022, they have until the 31st of March to apply for the NHR if they didn't do it.
Could you
until
say
now.
that one more time? Because a lot of people might not have been listening until they heard NHR, and now they're listening.
Okay, so if any of you became a tax resident in Portugal in 2022, you need to apply for the NHR until the 31st of March. Otherwise, you will lose the right to apply for it.
That's a great heads up. Thank you for that, Gilda. So let's go to those last few comments and questions as we round up and finish at 10. Steve, stop writing testimonials. Steve has been great. So and he has some kudos too from Dwight. Thank you, Steve, for your speedy responses to Daniel's team. 10 chilies. You get the 10 chili award, and that's actually go. You didn't write that one yourself, but final words from you tonight, please, Steve. How to engage?
I had to engage with ourselves.
Yeah.
So, obviously go to the website, use, register your account. As, some of the guys have said, we're here, we help you with your currency needs. We try and make this process as smooth and as simple for you as possible. We're all, we know you're moving lots of money, so, we're happy to, do things like this out of hours. We're moving. Speak to guys, like Gal just said, let's help them with their deposit and things like that for their property. So, we're here to make everything as simple, and as smooth for you. So, any questions you've got, please feel free to get in touch. We'll be certainly be able to help.
Brilliant. I think you can walk into the office with some pride tomorrow and announce yourself as Steve 10 Chilies Flack is here, everybody.
I'm sure the boys will love that when I walk in. Yeah.
Yes, here he comes, 10 chilies. Coffee's on you then in the morning, Steve. Great work. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for being here this evening. And thanks everybody for those lovely testimonials. Have a great rest of your evening in UK. Over to you, Nuno. So we have announcements to come with these new products. Can you say any more?
First, a word for Steve. And being a scout, my thoughts is that he was collecting a lot of badges today.
Yes. The chili badge.
So yes,
you too, by the way, Nuno. Stephanie says thank you to Nuno as well. He was also very helpful. So you get a badge too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, just a simple word that is, we will not find any quotes on our social media or websites. We like to treat everyone as people. So we are people to people. So just email us and we will keep in touch shortly with you. Okay?
I am safe then at winsurance.pt. I don't know if you want to pop that in the chat again and then people can get in touch with you. Nuno, have a great evening. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Gilda, finally, very quick question from Barack here. Not sure if this is the forum, if this forum is the right place. However, we're looking for a home to purchase in Portugal. Once we have it, how difficult it is to get a management company to lease it out till we retire and move there. Can you point Barack in the right direction for management companies once a property's bought, Gilda?
Yes, Barack. If it is where it's going to be now, because there are not going to be short-term leases, the government doesn't allow. So
let's not go there. Please don't open that can of worms.
If it's going to be a long-term agreement, Casa Portuguesa can help you.
There you go.
We can help you to find a house.
Yes.
And we can help you to manage the lease agreement and everything that you need.
And subletting for maybe a string of D7 lease requirements thereafter. It's all in the ecosystem here. Fantastic. Thank you, Gilda, for that. And a quickie from Square Eyes.
I didn't say that, you did.
Sorry. If I Like, call Gilda in Casa Portuguesa and clarify that. Sorry, my bad. If I get the D7, can my mum come on the reunification at the same one as me or only later?
She can come with you if
He's a carer, right? So yeah, of course she must come with him.
Well, it depends if if it is a country that if it is from a country that you don't need a visa, she can come, but and then do the family reunion here. If it is a country that demands a visa, they can put the process together, the D7 and the D6 together.
Okay. Another quickie. Sorry for this to keep everybody, but I really like to get to everyone's questions if possible. Did you say, asked GC, that 1 year's savings plus 1 year's rent costs in savings do not qualify for the D7?
Yes, I did. 1 year of savings and 1 year of rent. I am assuming the rent of the house here, right?
I think so. Well, I think we'll have to carry that forward. It's a bit complex. But if you're in urgent need of getting that answered, you can see the number and the details for getting in touch with Gilda and team tomorrow. Ring them in the morning. They'll be getting ready to go to Amsterdam in the afternoon.
No, not tomorrow. We are going in the morning. Not
Okay.
tomorrow.
All right. So get that
Monday.
Get that email sent, and they'll deal with it on Monday. Okay. And we'll just take a few thanks. Awesome as usual. Gilda is the best. And
thank
yes,
you.
and thank you for all the useful info, and long live the king. Also, what you can say going into work tomorrow, Steve. What a great day that's going to be. I am the king, everybody.
Yeah, they'll believe that, won't they?
Thanks for the great info, everyone, from Dan Marshall as well. Great job, Dream Team. Thank you for being here. GC, I see you're in a hurry to get your questions answered. Stick around and we'll make sure you've got the right contact details for Gilda. If for any reason that shouldn't happen, go to expatsportugal.com. Everyone here is in the business directory there, and you can send a message to admin@expatsportugal.com as well, and we'll do our best to help you. Sorry if I didn't get to your questions now, because we have to finish. Join us again next Thursday from 9 o'clock until 10. We'll be with you again with the Dream Team. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your evening, your margaritas or whatever. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.